Hello, I'm going to explain and demonstrate the Kilby Inquiries tool called Metaphysical Hands. Now, this technique combines metaphysical hands, imaginary hands, along with elements of the now process, breathing, open focus, and it can include mining or pendulation. It helps with contractions, physical pain, emotional blockages or repression, and other forms of stress, tightness, or dense sensations in the body. You start in a sitting position or lying down and relax. Then you notice any area that feels contracted, stressful, or dense in the body. Or if you're choosing to work with a word or pictures, you can go ahead and put that focus up. Next, you imagine two imaginary metaphysical hands surrounding and holding the sensation in place, or surrounding and holding the word or picture. Next, you begin breathing long, slow breaths, deep breaths. With each inhalation, breathe into the sensation inside the metaphysical hands. And then with each out breath, notice the space all around the outside of the hands. Just continue this breathing cycle until you sense a very broad, open space all around the outside of the hands. If this sensation moves or changes, or if the picture or the words change, you just move your metaphysical hands to its new location and continue the exercise. So if the sensation gets smaller, then your hands get smaller surrounding that sensation. The sensation or the words or the picture may begin to dissolve or greatly lessen. If so, you just let that happen. Anytime the sensation or the word or picture feels blocked or stuck, you may use mining or the thank you phrase, or you may go back to the long, slow, deep breathing exercise that we just talked about. Whatever helps to loosen the energy. So here we go. I'm going to demonstrate now. So I'm going to close my eyes so I can really tune into my body. And I'm just going to scan my body and notice if there's any sense of contraction, tension, any feeling of stress, density, or tightness. I'm noticing a little bit of tension in my forehead, above my eyebrows. So I'm going to go ahead and put my imaginary, my metaphysical hands and surround that area. And now I'm going to add that breathing pattern, long, slow, deep in breaths and out breaths. And as I breathe in, I'm really focusing on that sensation inside of it. And as I breathe out, I'm going to expand my awareness to the space outside of where my metaphysical hands are. Sometimes I notice that my eyes move where I put my attention. So I'm just noticing that, allowing that to happen. I am noticing a little bit of a change in the sensation. Now I'm noticing a sense of pulsing, a little bit of a pulsing feeling. going to continue breathing into that. And as I exhale, moving my awareness outside of the sensation. It hasn't really moved. It's still staying in about the same area, about the same size, other than the pulsing. Feeling my attention kind of being pulled towards my neck. I feel a little bit of movement in my neck. I think I'm just going to allow myself to stay focused with this sensation in my forehead. So I'm going to ask my attention to come right back to here, the forehead area. Breathing into it, really sensing it. Breathing out, noticing the space. Yeah, I'm starting to feel that sense of spaciousness expanding. This is more of a sense of awareness of the room, like the space out in the room, kind of behind me as well. And again, I'm breathing into that sensation in my forehead. And I'm just feeling a big shift in, it feels big. It really actually is small in reality, but it's noticeable. I guess that's what I mean. It's a noticeable, um, a kind of a letting go, a little bit of a letting go. And actually, I can feel it more. I can feel that area more. Right now, it feels like when I breathe in, it's like a balloon. This area is like a balloon that's just kind of expanding now. And I actually feel more of it, a sort of a spreading, like I can also feel more of my neck and my shoulders, like this area in my forehead and the area in my shoulders all feels like one thing now, kind of expanding. So I'm going to let that metaphysical hands expand out even wider. Noticing that I'm feeling pretty interested in the sensation, and then I forgot to let my attention go outside of the metaphysical hands to the space. I'm just going to stay loyal to this process right now. I'm just going to return to that breathing into the sensation, and then I'm allowing my awareness to really expand now outside and the areas outside of the metaphysical hands. I think I'm going to wind up here in this process. What I'm noticing finally is towards the end there, I noticed a little bit of a shiver or just a little subtle kind of a releasing motion in my spine. And overall, I have the sense that that condensed feeling that was really concentrated in that one area in my forehead kind of gradually expanded. There was that pulsing and it kind of expanded and then included different areas of my body. I really didn't have any particular words or memories come up around that. And so I was just really staying with the sensation. So in other situations, other things can happen in this process. Sometimes the sensation doesn't change at all, and then we might use a different technique from there. Another option is to actually bring your hands up and put it around the sensation. So for me, that sensation was right in here, and I could really use my hands. Sometimes that really helps me stay focused when I use my hands. So if you find yourself, trying to do this technique, and maybe your mind is maybe a little bit more scattered, then actually using your hands and bringing them up to wherever that sensation is and putting your hands around it can help you focus in a little bit more on it. Okay, so we'll just end there. That's Metaphysical Hands, and enjoy exploring using it, and take care.